She should have probably clocked the scenario and gone like, "I'll use the other cloakroom," or maybe she was trying to. Maybe I didn't pick up
didn't see anything wrong but on her side, like, didn't really.
Yeah.
I've got a few pals here in nudeness. A man and women, and they actually go to a nude beach in Turkey. It's like a nudist colony thing. No, it's a beach.
Yeah, we got one.
They put photos up online, but they've got like stuff in front of their bits. Just like naked with all these old men.
Yeah, I just don't see the appeal, but you know.
I mean, that's how we were all born, I suppose. It's how we exist.
Well, that's it. I mean, I do know a girl called Maya who's had a lot of sort of spiritual travelling type journeys. I used to work with, bless her.
That's the exact thing they're into. That's what you.
Yeah, and she's posted pictures of her at like just like a bit of naked sort of pondering, and another girl, Maxine, I know as well. I think it is just like, you know, when people are trying to find themselves, you know, she was literally out in the forest, and Maya's so fit as well. Bless her. She was one of my students. She was an 18-year-old when I was a manager at Shoosh, and she was so nervous, bless her. But yeah, she became a career bartender, and she always thanks me for it. It's one of my more satisfying moments in my career was Maya, basically. She's fucking gorgeous, and she's just sweet, and bless her. Her mum died when she was like 15 of a heroin overdose. But not because she wasn't a junkie. She just had like she was prescribed opioids, and for some reason I think the prescription ran out or whatever, and she ended up resorting to the street to get heroin, and it killed her. But yeah, she's a proper. It wasn't a scally mum or anything that did heroin. It was just a proper fucking anomaly. But yeah, she's always been a traveller, and she's clearly just looking for some something like that. But yeah, she's very yoga naked in nature, and the pictures she posts are like from behind and stuff, so you can't see anything, but it's just like, Maya, you are. I was like, I loved her, not actually, but I just she was so fit in my eyes. But I was always professional about it because I was a general manager, and I was 10 years older than her. There was definitely a time when I could have done as well, because we slept in the same room, and she was very, you can sort of get the signs, can't you? But I stayed sensible and, professional. If she was 5 years older, we had that conversation, and I was like, if you were 5 years older, I was 5 years younger. Might be different, but...
Isn't there a rule where it's half your age plus 7 is meant to be your minimum age? That's not a rule, obviously. As far as when you register.
I've heard loads of different rules in that context, but yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty fair, to be honest.
I'm 36, so that would be a good number. That would be... What's 36 divided by 2?
17 plus 7.
Yeah, so 24 would apparently be my limit.
I mean, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right, but I mean, you get like celebrities who are like big, huge age gap, and I don't really see an issue with it. Like, as long as they're legal age, obviously.
No, I don't. I mean, I think after a certain age, I just think, apart from in porn, 18's pretty much out. That I wouldn't really feel. Paul used to shake loads of teenagers.
They still look really young and younger folk. 18.
Yeah. Paul used to shake loads of teenagers in Zante, but they were after him because he was a sophisticated, good-looking club owner out there that was very charming and funny, and had a car. And but they were always, they were piling up, fucking chasing him. If anything, he used to make a bit of a, which was wrong with him, but he used to make a bit of a game about like leading them on a little bit and see how much he can make them fall in love with him. But yeah, he was like 38. But that's them coming to him and stuff, that's all. Which I think, again, is okay. I don't think under any circumstances, really, when you're 38, you should be hitting on or engaging initially with an 18-year-old. That you don't know.
Oh, Resi, puzzle, something shite puzzles that. Seems to fit there. What am I doing? Oh man, what am I doing?
You know how I've got that other Facebook profile where I've got loads of the local hoofters as friends because obviously it's a promo profile. The stuff that these kinds of gay fellas post about is fucking hilarious sometimes. Because they're extremely camp guys in their camp little world. I actually saw one guy posted a few pictures of this particular, like, this guy who's a bear, but he's a model as well, so he's in like leather and stuff like that. And he was just like, I would let this man destroy my pooper.
That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
There's quite a lot about drag queens on there and that as well. That's all still a bit. I don't know if you've paid attention to the news in that department. That's all fucking still. It's now a political weapon. It's sad to see, but yeah. Anyway.
I can't avoid news these days. I look up science news and it's got a lot.
Yeah, I curate my feeds.
Yes, done it.
I kind of have to stay relevant on the platforms I use because of, or like active because of. I'd be a bit of a waste of. Well, yeah, I've got to use them in my career anyway. If I'm to be doing comedy stuff again, which I don't know, obviously I've got this pilot, but I need to keep it all active. But I know what you mean. I've sometimes I just straight away I turn Twitter off. I open it and I'm like, no, fuck off, put it back down.
I'm quite a sadist where most of my time online is looking at videos of people getting hurt. Like fail videos, I quite like.
I don't mind ones where people are getting mildly hurt, but like,
it's not like leg breaking stuff, but like
you in there?
people falling over or stuff like that.
Well, Jake shared that one. That guy got a chainsaw in the face.
Yeah, that's horrific. It's rotten stuff.
Mattia was bad for that sort of shit as well. Like years and years ago, I blocked him on all platforms. Like for so long, I considered him a good friend, but
Ashley Graham, are you
I
in
don't
here?
know his number and he hasn't got mine because he's some cunt about. He doesn't take it. He doesn't. You can't tell him. Mattia, stop doing this. He won't listen. Keep sending you stuff.
My name's Leon.
Just watching this scene, sorry man. Just met Ashley Graham.
Yeah, she was a little cutie, I remember.
She looks a lot older now, maybe sexualised her a bit.
You need to
Yeah, she was meant to be the innocent looking cute girl that was old enough for you to look at still.
Yeah, it's the Japanese story, yeah. Like perverts.
Yeah, that's. I always seems to get this. I don't know why that's not a part of. When you consider some conversations that society has as a collective, they forget that we're a lot better than places like Japan and India. Like Japan for fucking nonsense, we're much better than. Eastern Europe for racism, we're better than them. Like the Middle East for homophobia, we're much better than them at that. For that. And the environment, India.
India's a shite hole.
Yeah, I know it's not the attitude, but all these, for every one straw that you used cardboard or paper instead of plastic, it would take billions of them to offset one day's worth of fucking waste in somewhere like India or China, in terms of just carbon footprint. I don't know that for a fact, but that's pretty much the gist of what I know. Maybe I'm just off with the figures, but. I did actually hear something quite reassuring from Elon Musk a few months ago about the climate and stuff like that. He's just adamant, he's just completely confident that climate catastrophe just won't happen. It just won't.
What do we do?
But he was like, you absolutely clean up the air quality and the oceans and stuff like that. That's not up to debate. It's not up. Like, he's not debating that the climate's changing. But he's just like, we are just far too good to let that sort of thing end us. Like, and even if it did, even if we did absolutely nothing about it, it'd still take millions of years. In which time there's probably going to be an extinction event anyway. So chill the fuck out about it. So it makes you feel a bit more. I mean, if you had to take what he says, of course. But what do you think of that guy? Just out of interest.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I didn't read too much of it, honestly. As I say, I can't zone out with the news and all that. Like,
but he's a science news sort of guy.
I'm all for the science stuff, but not the idiocy tweets that he does and that kind of stupid, like,
he's just
stuff.
That's just his little hobby, to be honest.
You always say he's a wee bit older than... Sorry, new woman.
That's what I was going to say. He's just
he's a wee bit older than us, but he's clearly he's an internet user because he does memes and it all the time. He's like he loves anime and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, he plays.
I'm all for him.
Last of Us.
I'm all for the technology and that. Like the thing he said about the guy at the Thailand, trying to save the Thailand cave divers. What are you doing? You're a fucking 50-year-old man.
I'm never one to hold someone to discredit. I don't dislike someone just for even a handful of things they've said, unless it's really vicious. Obviously, Tommy Robinson's a bit different, and people of that extreme. But you could just be a bit of a dick sometimes, and it's okay.
Of course, I'm not saying in this perfect.
Oh no, not you. I just but the way, because a lot of my followers, they don't like it. They're always commenting, being a bit of a twat to them. And like, I judge people, right? On if I see someone on social media that I don't know very well or do know quite well, and they're just for no reason taking their time out of their day to leave a negative comment on even if it's a celebrity, I don't care. If that's the way inclined your mind is, I note it. I just think, okay, I know that about you. You're
young white guy with a neck beard. It seems to be the most similar doing that, like. Trolling.
I mean, just you can have a little joke, a little gag, like or a comment, but like people who are perpetually just like you're a cunt or something like that. It's just, it's like okay.
Or like
you're that person,
perverted and that. The amount of women that I know have got like text messages or like dick pics and that. And it's like, what possesses you in your mind when they can see your profile to sell a picture of your penis? Yeah. I'm sure it's actually a crime now. You can get done for it.
Yeah, because I just the way I see Musk is just like none of his opinions that I slightly disagree with or like don't know enough about to disagree with or agree with rather are particularly extreme at all. Like they're not racist, homophobic, and I don't even think he's chimed in on the whole gender argument. I'm sick of that as well.
I think any celebrity, like, or millionaire's got a wee bit of eccentricity of the fucking word is to them.
Well, I saw on that Flat Earth documentary, on the Netflix one, I saw the psychiatrist on that going, if you gave me 5 minutes alone with anyone, I'm pretty confident I could tease out some belief they hold that's like, subject to common ridicule. Like everyone has an opinion somewhere along the lines that several other people would ridicule, like pretty much.
Bruce, I've secured Baby Eagle.
Jake was into Tommy Robinson, for example.
Okay?
Affirmative.
Well done, Condor 1. I'll dispatch a chopper ASAP.
It's when people point the finger at people like, even like Musk.
And don't let anything happen
It's like, well, you must be a fucking angel then. Do you know what I mean? If you've got the audacity to, it's something I learned from bartending. Like my bar manager used to say it's about this guy Breno we had, who was always he was a head bartender. He was always a right cunt over the littlest of things. It was to make us better, but still, the bar manager said to him, was like, look, if you want to go around being like that with these boys, that's up to you. But you better make damn sure that your shit's perfect all the time, because they're going to be looking for stuff that you're not doing right and going on and highlighting it.
Stay close.
So, if you want to throw stones, just make sure your house isn't fragile, kind of thing. And that's, you just get random accounts online going, yeah, but you're probably an alcoholic, like, or you probably don't see your kids, or you probably hit your wife, or do you know what I mean? Like,
I've got flaws.
yeah, and I'm beginning to think, like, you know how I was saying about that comedian yesterday that someone was just deciding to try and ruin his life. Like, I reckon people that are that obsessed with doing that to people are really bad people themselves, but they project this justice warrior facade so that people think they're a good guy.
On me.
I reckon that's like
Spread out.
essentially not a condition, but you know, like that's a
Give me
quantifiable
some space.
thing probably by a psychiatrist.
Okay.
I should have done psychology. I've thought about that a few times.
Yeah, it's never too late.
No, yeah, I've been thinking about this. Yeah, well, you said you were at college, got me thinking a little bit. Of course, yeah,
Spread out.
we just go do night classes. I don't need to get I don't need to do a 2-year course, do I, to get like a bit of knowledge, a bit of basic knowledge.
I was thinking the other day,
Night classes.
it was 3 years since the lockdown, the first lockdown.
Yes, but
I was like, that can't be 3 years, 2 years, no, it's 3 years. I was like, fucking hell. See the amount of stuff you could have done in 3 years. You could have went to, obviously you, I'm just saying like anyone, could have went to college, could have learned the language, and it just seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, part of me feels like I didn't didn't deliver or execute properly during lockdown, because you know it was a good time to sort of reset, and that's why a lot of people's channels blew up and things like that. And you know, but then I think to myself, I did try. I know one of my traits is I'm a bit too hard on myself. So I did launch a chicken shop, and if anything,
That's impressive.
I did. It's still a success. I still consider that project a success overall. And just before the lockdown, just before COVID we'd even heard of it, I nearly got a deal signed off on a cocktail bar. It was interesting, but it didn't go through. And all those things. What I'm getting at really is the fallout of COVID financially and economically is just kicking in. You know, there's a lot of people. Clive was one of them that took like the COVID loans, the grant scheme. There were never before has anyone ever lent a limited company that's done virtually no trading 50 grand. I wouldn't even lend you 5. I think there's 2.
Yeah.
Because it's part of a government scheme. Clive he just had his company registered to the shop address itself, and he just took 50 grand is what he was eligible for, and fucked it off. So he just 50 grand up. Went to Turkey, got his teeth done, bought a Range Rover.
See, when I was...
Yeah, we're all sort of. I'm nearly finished. What I was getting at, but now we're all sort of paying for it as a society, aren't we? But yeah, go on. What are you gonna say?
When I was at college, my student, like when I went to college when I was younger, I was 17. But my student loan was 0 interest. It was fucking mind blowing now. Think about it. It was actually my tutor. It was him that was telling us all to get student loans. I was like, you're gonna kind of fuck us up in the future. It's like 0% interest. There's not much to lose, and if you're making enough money to pay it back, then you're obviously doing all right. So I was quite surprised. Like, I think I think in the States, not to get fucked over with money. Students.
There's a lot of big business people. Gary Vee, one of them, and Elon Musk is another. It's just like college really isn't the model it used to be. You know, like you really got to think twice about it. You know, he never went to college, and it's like it's not. to say it's invalid for all subjects, but a lot of subjects. And just speaking from my job point of view, like,
Oh, leave him, you fucking bastard.
the advantage of when you get someone with a bartending course, it's just like at least you know what they know. Whereas someone can have 10 years experience and not know certain things, that they've missed certain things still, like fundamentals. So I suppose uni does that, but their point is it's just not worth getting 30, 40 grand
Oh, shite.
for something that you don't really...
Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk says college is about, you know, teaching you how to live independently. That's it.
You start this again, right?
I delivered to so many of the students on campus and that, and you can see that. I look at them and I was like, you little scrubs, you just don't know how to fucking look after yourself, do you? But I didn't at that age, I was taught badly in that respect.
Why you cunt? Why you running so fucking slow? You fucking bit of doing, you fucking pedo.
What bit are you on? Oh, that's so cool.
That's the same Simon getting mania, isn't it? It's, I've just saved Ashley. I've just found her. And... try to get her away from the church, but fucking loads of Zoomers about zombies. That's I'm still shouting there.
Being never beat Ukraine.
It's been really hard all of a sudden.
Spread out.
Hey.
Oh, Scotland are in Spain's group, are ya?
Yeah, you need a bit of watch out. Scots are coming.
Who did you beat? Cyprus, wasn't it? Yeah.
Scots are coming out.
3-0. Yeah, you got a better team than you've had in 20, 30 years. The next group is France and Greece are the two likely, and then you've got Republic of Ireland and the Netherlands, fucking hell. They've lost their opening game now.
Okay.
Has he seen me? Why did he fucking see me? Fucking cunt.
I always root for Greece as well. Always. Always watch it. Not watch, but I'll watch it if I get a chance. One of the good things about Zante was always just every single game of football was on. So whenever there was a tournament on, you got to watch all of it, and it was class. We just played our 2 hard games as well, so we've just done Italy, we've just done Ukraine. And those are the 2 hard games. We've got Malta and North Macedonia are other 2 teams in our group.
I've not actually watched a lot of sports. Watch NBA highlights every so often.
Okay, you good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Turkey, Wales, Croatia, and Latvia and Armenia. That's that group.
LeBron James just beat the record for NBA's all-time highest scoring.
Yeah, he's some athlete, isn't
Get in here, you fucking dick. Where are you?
he? I think Jordan will always go down as the greatest of all time, purely because he was mental.
Stop! Nah, you have to beat him, right? Fucking bastard. Oh. Oh man, why are you running so slowly on here? Fucking idiot. Come on, get up.
You alright?
Yeah,
Get up.
I'm fine.
There you go, run away.
Come on.
Nice.
Ashley!
Oh, come on.
Do you know Carlton Leach is?
No.
He was the guy Rise of the Foot Soldiers based on.
Hooligan.
Yeah. He replied to my tweet the other day. I'm not. I find I've happily watched his podcasts and stuff just to hear his. Because I've not watched the films, to be honest. I watched Essex Boys.
There's a few of them, huh?
It's a proper franchise now. Yeah, Ardy, that rapper from around there, is in the new one called Rise. It's just now it's
going to like DVD and Asda when they come out though.
well, it's net with streaming services, but it's well, Essex Boys was the original with Sean Penn or Sean Dean, whatever it was.
I have something I think you
The
like.
British actor.
It's the 80s
Have you
thing,
seen it? Do you know the story? That's 90s.
I've seen it, but it was a long time ago.
It's just about a group of people that ended up getting carried away in that world, and famously it was like a gangland killing in a Range Rover in like
They've got something
a
new.
Carlton Leach was meant to be there and should have been a target as well, but he didn't go that night for some last minute reason and didn't die because of this. That's why it's. But the Rise of the Foot Soldier franchise, like it was kind of like a retelling, but then like Rise of 2, 3, and 4, and the new one, it's kind of like they do the whole
I must
prequel
get a
thing.
phone call in there, man. One second. It's my phone number in America.
Was like a modernised version, and then the sequels have all been like, because he became like a gangland villain really. Like he was one of the more, hooligan and drug dealing in clubs and stuff. So they're about those days of his life, and then also they throw in the odd prequel before like the two original guys got shot. There's some two really good characters get killed in the first one. So they shoehorn it in.
Is Sean being English? Is it Irish?
Yeah. But he's not in the Rise of the Foot Soldier. He's in the
Yeah,
Essex Boys.
I remember. I don't remember seeing it, but I remember kind
He
of.
could be Irish for all I know, to be honest. Could be Scottish as well.
Always die, you know.
Yeah,
Dying in
good
his
actor.
films.
But yeah, I'm not so. Dave Courtney wasn't really I wouldn't call him a villain. He was just naughty. But Carlton Leach was a bit more of a. He was on that podcast, that Dodge Woodall guy, Eventful Lives thing, which is why he replied to me actually. But his story was more like,
I'll buy it.
yeah, I was fucking out of my mind. You know, I was a right cunt, kind of reflection, rather than look at how cool and funny I was. Sort of thing. Dave Courtney, he's a jester as well. He's a really funny geezer.
Ruby's all rubbish. It makes no difference. The price, well, that's our choice to make. What's that? How have we procured these curiosities? You don't want to know, mate. That won't cover it, I'm afraid. Stocking up while you can. Wise choice.
Yeah, the guy that plays Carlton Leach in this franchise as well. He's like, do you remember? He's his actor. But he always just plays a complete prick. Do you remember much about 28 Days Later?
Anything else I don't
Honestly, I don't know, man. It's so long ago. Like, I do remember it was Andrew Lincoln. Not Andrew Lincoln, it was handsome Irish boy.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, yeah. Maybe it's him.
Well, when they went to the army base in that, they found that army barracks and they sort of took in. There was that one right prick of a soldier in that, and that's the same actor.
Yeah, I can briefly remember it.
Yeah, he was a right dickhead. But that's just what this actor plays. He's just a typecast knobhead.
Not to Arsenal.
Stench of battle on you, mate.
He's got that face and all. He just looks like a prick. He's got a voice like a prick.
Got it.
There's a guy.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, there's an actor called Kurt Fuller. If you look him up, you'll go, oh, I recognise him. He was always in 90s movies. He's from the States. And he always played like a sort of side guy to a main, like, evil guy. Kurt Fuller, look him up. He's in Wayne's World. And he was always wearing a suit. For some reason, he always had this same role where he was like not the main evil guy, he was like the evil guy sort of.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, of course.
You know, I mean that guy. Yeah. He was actually quite funny in that, but he was always in the same role.
He's a good actor, yeah. Like,
Kurt Fuller.
Not one that ever gets put to the forefront, but you always appreciate him.
He's always second fiddle to the main decade.
Like, you know who else is like that? You know that guy in Armageddon that he was like the astronaut that was estranged from his son.
I think I remember, yeah.
There was a really moving moment when he got back a hero. His wife finally let him see his son know that was his dad. Because it was something to be proud of. And he was in Mothman Prophecies, and when I was watching The Punisher the other day, he's like the right-hand man. He's a concierge of the consigliere. He's a consigliere of the John Travolta mafia head sort of thing. Concierge. It's just sitting there in reception going, "Hey, look."
Kurt Fuller was always that same role, but he's been the same guy. Or he'd be like a sort of lawyer, like a seedy lawyer. He'd always be that sort of role.
Yeah, I've seen him do that. Very successful.
Bald and haircut. He's always at the same age as well.
Hunnigan was right about the weather.
What was the thing Sean Bean was in? It was like a
Sharp
series, yeah. Remember my granddad used to have all the videos. Sharp, was it? Yeah. What is it? Is a soldier?
It was. I think it was like a 1900s military movie, wasn't it? So,
yeah.
First World War. I feel like it was more of a Cavalier type thing than the First World War, though. To be honest.
When I was a teenager, I used to watch loads of shitty 80s, not shitty, 80s series like Magnum PI and A-Team. So they're on the UK TV Gold. Remember watching all these programmes. Baywatch, I watched that. And Knight Rider. I love Magnum PI, brilliant. Actually, a film as well, it was on Channel 5. I remember my friend phoned me to tell me it was on Channel 5. I said, Magnum PI movie? I can't believe you. He was right, it was. Yeah.
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but did I ever tell you about the time when, as a flair bartending community, we just saw on the news that one of the flair bartenders has just got 12 years for grooming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can picture what it must have taken him to get 12 years, then obviously it wasn't just...
pretty horrific.
It was more than grooming, to be honest. It was sexual touching and stuff like that. That was quite. Have you ever had that happen to you? Like just someone you've met just suddenly gets. There was that other guy that I went to school with. Me and they went to school with that got done for. He got stung by one of them pedo hunter things on Tinder.
Luckily, I've not. But Laura's mate or somebody at our school was done. It wasn't like total horrific pedo, but it was somebody that wasn't 18, grooming them. They actually owned a cake shop as well. and there's a address is actually near mine. For some reason, they put his name and address in the fucking website, the courier, the South Courier, of the newspaper.
Well, they do, don't they? They put like so and so from Elm Grove. Or something.
Ah, yeah. I mean, not his door number, but his fucking what is it here? His address. Shit. No, he's done it. Yeah, it was just him. There's still time though. Pedo stinging groups. They're totally popular up here.
Yeah, people get. I'm not nothing against the concept, but I'm not keen on the execution.
Vigilantism, which is dangerous. They
do it badly, some of them.
Killed her.
They do it badly. Like Chris, this guy with me and they went to school, but he was always very behind mentally. Like, straight out of school, he was always going to the really chavvy mainstream Prism Oceana type club for his whole life, and then he was still doing it in his early 30s. But he was on Tinder. He was just all about pulling, basically. He was on Tinder, which is an over 18 site, and then he had this fake account.
Hannigan was right about the weather.
You know, he messaged him or whatever. Don't know the detail of that. But you know, it turned out they said, "Oh, I'm 14 or 15," and that's when obviously he should have gone. See you later, but he didn't. Or
Yeah.
he did at first, but then went back to it or something like that, which is apparently quite common. But he was like baited, so he got 2 years suspended sentence, and that was it. He's got to live with the shame and so the family, you know. Like that's something they probably take into consideration with this sort of thing as well. It's like, well, that is a big punishment in itself, to be honest. We can put him in jail for 2 years and he won't get any of the grief. People have forgotten about it by the time he gets out, but or we can let him walk the streets and have people going, nonce!
You'd have to move away, yeah. There was a guy at my work years ago got suspended for sexual harassment, and he still kept going to work. He's like 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks out pay, and he come back and he was like, "Ah, he's a fucking pervert." I'm like, why wouldn't you fucking change job? Luckily, it wasn't so bad I'd phone the police. But why would you not just leave? Would you go, right, I've fucked up here, I'm going to get another job, I'm totally ashamed of myself, and just keep working. It was, I think there was a new start last year, he was probably about 17, and he was harassing her about sexual stuff. And then he asked somebody else for a threesome. I'm like, you still got a fucking job here? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I forgot. Yeah, mine was one of the bouncers at Roadhouse got sacked for some of the stuff he said, and it was kind of fair enough. Like, I don't think you're playing with fire, and he was like he was one of them sort of doormen that clearly just did it to be a doorman and chat to birds and stuff like that. He was a good-looking guy, and he used to just be so confident and just say what he was eventually. He's like, I'm going to shag you eventually, kind of comments and stuff like that. And he was shagging a few. He had shagged a few of the girls, or at least two that I know of. But like, yeah, like he's gonna stumble across it one day. Where one of them's like, oh, I'm not here for that.
Yeah, especially the classes these days. Which obviously is good. It's good that people are standing up for themselves. Like a lot of these guys that are the old school flirty ways will not really. We'll have to pay for it one day, like, and they're getting fucking sacked. You're a pervert.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, like, having always worked in hospitality, it's always a bit more flirtatious anyway, or just a bit more charged anyway, because wearing certain things and whatnot. But like the girls in Albie's VIP were like wearing corsets and hot pants and high heels in their uniform, which is. But those are the kinds of girls that love that. Like they're all Instagram model type girls. Like, fucking more power to them. Like. They want to make a living off of that. Knock yourself out.
What went the wrong way? Right. There's a lassie who used to work with me, she's 18 or 19, 20 maybe now. But she's got like fake lips, orange skin, blonde hair, all that kind of stuff.
I feel for him.
And she's got an Instagram profile, and I won't perv, right, but I'll go look at it just to see. And I like to look at the people that I know who've actually liked her pictures, are like older men. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Billy? You're fucking at 60. What are you doing liking Thingy's profile picture?
Well, that's the thing, though, they're happy to put it out there because they want that sort of attention, but then when it actually, when they get that sort of attention, they're like, oh no. Sydney, bless her, down the side, she's the typical, she's from Pease Pottage. She's a fucking village, like, between Brighton and London. And you gotta have money to live there, so her parents would be proper, she's a proper princess. She's so sweet, though. She's not ditzy dumb, but she's just like really sweet. But yeah, like fucking hair extensions, nails, fucking fake tan, head to toe, like yeah, but not only a little bit. She likes the attention, but not in a way that
Ashley, come on, Ashley.
she's not like a
What's she doing?
attention seeker, as it were.
What's she fucking doing?
Out of the way.
Put me down! Leon!
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I'll just see people like I work with that are older and like the picture just like, on the beach where I'll shoot and that. And I'm like, oh, you doing, eh? You up to?
Yeah, Kieran was the one for messages. I told you at the time, I think, but yeah, one of Kieran's problems with himself is that he was messaging all the young girls and stuff. To be fair to him, he did actually chat to them as well, and they got along. You know, he wasn't just seeing them in the distance that worked there, like, you know, walking past them in the corridor, then finding them on Instagram and messaging them going, hi, what are you up to? It's not quite that. He's not like a little fucking... quite a confident, outgoing guy, you know? Yeah, it's just when he's at home with his dick in his hand on coke. He was telling me one time about a mate who had such a coke problem with wanking. He's like, yeah, he had to go to his doctor about it and everything and tell him that. I was like, no, he didn't. That was you cunt. There's no way your mate... He was wanking too much and he had to tell his doctor about it. He was like, nah. Like when he was on coke. I was like, thinking, nah, like, that's you. You're saying my friend. Like, your friend didn't tell you that story about you. Sorry, as in about himself, rather.
Well, because of the... Is it sore? Some tender?
Well, just like, that was what his sort of go-to habit was, and like... porn addiction's its own separate thing, but like, they're really common together. Apparently.
Do you ken who's a porn addict? Terry Crews, the actor Terry Crews.
I had no idea.
Terry Crews, yeah. Says it was getting to the point where it was actually affecting his marriage, yeah.
Well, I bet.
He said he would just... I don't know why he confessed it. Maybe he got caught or something, I don't know. He was open about it. He was saying that he used to, like, download videos and keep one hard drive. It was, like, obviously wasn't anything against the law. It was just porn. No. Just, like, standard Pornhub videos. He would save them all, keep with hard drives and label them all.
Yeah. I'm very particular about only staying on Pornhub, to be honest, because I don't, you know, it's perfectly legal.
I think his wife found this out, like the folders of pornography. And he was like, yeah, he couldn't have sex with his wife because he'd be fucking hitting a wank every single day, man, like 10 times a day. And yeah, he didn't confess it, but he did admit it, innit? He opened it, I think it was on a chat show he was talking about it. And I think they were trying to make a joke out of it, but he was like, no, it's pretty serious, like. Fair enough, like.
dopamine at the end of the day, isn't it?
It's probably quite a common thing these days with access to porn. Like,
Yeah, I've seen a couple of. I didn't watch the documentary. I've seen the thumbnail or the intro or something like that of like podcasts or TED talks about porn addiction and stuff like that, and it's like a couple of little tidbits I've picked up. It's like if that's all you're watching, you stop looking for it in real life, and that's when people become like, you know. Well, I imagine that's what incels is partly contributed to the whole incel.
incels here. Oh, you get a new controller, like. This is fucked.
Yeah, ready. We had that about a year, surely. One time.
I know. Stick drift. I think we can actually fix it. I'm not too sure how. Might take it to bits actually. Just screws in it. Just pop it open. Because honestly, like, I'll be looking at the map, right, and the actual crosshairs like moving at the screen. I'm having to kind of guess where I'm shooting sometimes.
There'll be a fix, like if it's only a little bit of drift.
Yeah.
There'll be a YouTube video on it.
Be like realign it or something.
Yeah.
It is pretty bad. Check it out here. Obviously, the Resi, your main concerns is your ammo, and I'm fucking wasting some just firing in the air. If I played in hardcore mode, I would be dead because I can't fucking aim properly. This way. Have you ever eaten a rabbit before?
I don't know. I can't be sure anyway. I can't remember it, but I can't be sure that I haven't.
Thunder stars. Yeah, I've eaten kangaroo, believe it or not, and you won't guess where I actually found the kangaroo. It was in Iceland, the shop.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Kangaroo burgers.
I've worked somewhere where they've had it on the menu.
Probably about 10% kangaroo, to be honest. It was quite nice actually. It was quite lean.
Yeah, I don't know why he did it like this, but this chef had all types of, like, basically all the burgers can be made in either beef, horse, ostrich or kangaroo.
Was it a South African place or something?
Nope, it was Albi's Club on the beach. Like, if anything, you just want to fucking buy the cheapest stuff in. And
I think these things in Iceland were because of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here was out. There was like a exotic.
Well, do you remember that?
Meats.
Do you remember that time there was outrage, in quotation marks, about Tesco selling horse meat, and they were just like, yeah, it's common.
Findus. I mean, could you tell me where your lasagna comes from? Nobody can. I mean, if you didn't notice it, then
Seriously, this can't be happening.
I'm pretty sure as well. Horses are kind of like expensive meat, is not a game meat.
It wasn't particularly expensive, no.
It's in France. I always thought it was like kind of episode of Simpsons when they send Bart Simpson, who was a wee boy, he gets pissed off at him and sends him to France, and Bart has to make wine. Remember that? That's what I started to picture the Findus was like. Just loads of wee Barts killing horses, shooting them in the head. Jackets. Don't turn it. Where's he going? Get hit! I got hit by the cow. The cow just flattened the zombie. I can probably see you actually, for fuck's sake.
I remember her being a bit fucking. Oh, there's a bit where you got to play with her, isn't there?
Yeah, I see that one now. It's kinda, I mean, it is good control. You can actually control her. Like, you can tell her to stand back or hide. But,
oh no, you actually got to play with her at one point.
whatever.
As her,
But-
sorry.
Yeah. But there was a bit where I was trying to hide in the corner and she was fucking not around the corner at the same time. I didn't notice and I got seen.
I wonder when Skylines 2 will be out. They say it's this year.
That'll be good, right? I'm kind of surprised they're actually doing a Skylines 2. I just thought they would have updated Skylines forever.
They've done fucking dozens of updates, man. It's been the best. I'd say it's the best experience in DLC I've ever had in a game.
You okay?
Yeah, it's quite thorough. Intense.
Yeah, but I think they just got to the point where to expand on any more ideas, they need to actually fundamentally rebuild the game.
Yeah.
Although they've got really good mechanics for like, you know, all the roads and everything like that in there, they could just do better. And then,
What are you doing? Why are you not getting them? For fuck's sake.
is this 8 years old?
I heard that Sim City was pretty crappy, like the relaunch.
Well, that's the thing. It was really good back in the day.
Oh yeah, it's classic. But
Stuff evolves, you know, and nothing compared to Skylines is just regarded as the defining game in that genre. They've recently brought out like packs of like loads of different types of stadiums and more transport hubs and different buildings. You can get loads of different train packs and stuff as well. Like you can have specific like French type trains and stuff like that, and like European police cars and shit like that.
can you mind Richland, Maya? Oh, it was a Richland 2 actually. The first one that fucked up. That was a mess.
Fucking mess, yeah.
The crime was up really high. I like that. Put a primary school in the middle of a roundabout, isn't it? Brilliant.
Fuck these children.
I was quite surprised at the detail the cities like to be that.
Well, you should see the. Cause I think those screenshots I sent you before, they weren't actually PC, but like you should see some of the PC ones when they were high spec PCs, especially.
Yeah, cool man.
You can actually have like parts of the road where there's like tyre wear and tear on the road, like marking it out a little bit.
That's cool.
Some of the shit that people make, like when they detail.
Some things nobody will notice. Think about it like tyre marks and that in the street. There's obviously a thing.
Speaking of tyre marks, so yeah, you know that lawnmower guy.
One more guy.
Guy with the videos of
Oh,
lawnmower.
your video is right there.
I see another one of him. he's basically got another company that he runs side by side. It looks like that's driveway cleaning, like jet washing and stuff, which makes sense. You know, lawnmower and jet washing is fairly similar activity in terms of the physical side of it, the operations. And yeah, he's good at. He turns out he's really good at that as well.
Okay, right.
Fair play to the guy. I'm really impressed.
I've got to a point of raise where I'm kind of fucked with ammo, right? I'm just playing on the normal mode now. I'm gonna do it again in hardcore if I can get past it. Right? I might play Resi 2 again. Kind of Resi Madden.
It's very good. It's better than 3. Nothing wrong with 3. It's just a bit short.
Quite a lot of folk like 3 better than 2, but I mean, obviously maybe it's your first game you played. But I love 2. Like, I played the demo loads, I remember back in the day.
Yeah, same. Resi 1's more classic and brilliant for that reason, but it's not a better game than 2.
I've got a very it's in my heart, first Resi, because it was the first Resi game I played. I was about 13 years old.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I bought Resident Evil 1 and Savage Garden, the CD. So anytime I hear Savage Garden, I'm like, oh, Resi 1. Like, what? Is this song in Resi 1? No. I bought them at the same time. Weird. Hardcore Savage Garden fan. Right. So I save it just in case. Savage Garden. It's the soundtrack to Killing Zombies, right? Maybe there is one. I remember buying it. This is quite a highbrow thing for me to buy at such a young age. But I bought Jaws on video. Yeah, a gift voucher. Probably about 8 years old. And I bought Jaws. So this is going to be cool. It's got a big shark in it. I remember, obviously, I think it was a great film. Like, kind of strange thing for a child to buy. It's probably the. Do you think? Like, what do you think is the most iconic film poster?
Pulp Fiction.
Is it with when they throw him in the bed? Like Jaws is up there, like it's amazing.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Actually, it's just that's the first thing that came to my head.
What's the thing? Merchant. What are you buying?
Welcome. What can I interest you in?
Selling.
I'll take it they kept all that in there then.
Thank you.
Aye, and you've got the original voice actor back for it as well.
Oh, nice.
What are you buying? What are you
They
selling?
made a point of that, obviously.
Might want to take care of any leftover
Yeah,
errands.
he's a bit me. He's got loads more lines.
Be ashamed to live the rest of your
Yeah.
life wondering, what if? Am I right?
Yeah, it's good that. Merchant's right.